Today I wanted to show off a strategy that I've been doing to kill the Shrouded Dweller. They are one of the two new endgame threats found in Abyssal Hyperspace. And the main part of the strategy is this. My personal Nova armed with kinetic blasters and high intensity lasers. And your PD of choice, I have shock repeaters. And the main thing it does is it punishes the ships for dashing, and it focuses on killing the eyes. The Shrouded Dweller fleets are primarily dangerous because of the eyes, and not many things more. So the rest of these ships are armed with long-range kinetics. You do not actually even need the heavy maulers. For an ideal fleet, you would be replacing these with more high-velocity drivers, but this is armed to be a generalist. All of the eradicators are the same, all of the hammerheads are the same. This should be a high-velocity driver, because there's no armor to punch through. This is the flagship. I have just a few buffs. This had to be built in because it costs 30, which is most of that, and it has neural interface. And the cutoff point is 50, but because this ship has a deployment value of 2, I can deploy it alongside my Nova and be able to swap instantly and generate charges. The last thing here is that the Nova has this gamma core in it to give it combat readiness, combat endurance, and raise it to all the way to 100, and it gives me quite a few different buffs that I get to have, but you have to take it out, because you cannot pilot ships that are captained. So let's see how this fares. So to interact with Shroud, let's go talk to this light. And this determines how scary it is, but we want to demonstrate our fleet. So we want to pick the top option, which gets its attention. It makes him mad. And the main threat of this fleet are the Shrouded Eyes and the Maw. And our ship, is designed to take on the eyes. So let's deploy everyone. You always get your 240 deployment against the Shroud. And now we want to get our ships to line up and try to engage some sort of battle line. Very, very difficult to get the ships to assemble battle lines like how you want them, so you need to forcibly tell them, go here. And hopefully they will be willing to listen. You can go over there, because that is strictly a support ship. So our job is, of course, to kill the eyes and punish things for dashing. The high-intensity lasers will deal damage to things while they're dashing, because they have to drop their shields while they dash. And the kinetic blasters are for some kinetic damage, anti-shield damage, while these are no longer relevant. Let's tell them to engage that. A very powerful aspect of the Nova is that it can just push the problems away from your allies. Especially with the shield. And here is where you see the main power. Despite the fact that it is shooting me with a big laser, it's shooting me a little bit too hard. So let's just get out of there briefly. Let's regenerate a charge. And as you can see, we can attack it while it is in range of us. Normally, the ship wins by killing things and doing terrible, terrible things to them while out of range. Let's try and get this guy's attention. It is a risk you run when you attempt to ramp things, is that if you have your shield up, it will disable you, but we saved a bunch of our allies, so that was probably worth it, with the assumption that we survive. battle line, but such is the game. We're still doing reasonably well. It is effectively inevitable that a few hammerheads get themselves killed. They yearn for death, so far as I can tell. Now, the Conquest is shooting missiles. It should probably be equipped with squalls, in all honesty. But, as you can see in the bottom left, it actually mentions that missiles are debuffed in abyssal hyperspace. They have less range, and they have less speed, so they move slower, and they get to their location slower. So they are not the ideal pick, and Onslaught is probably preferable in this situation for such reasons. And it's now paying attention to my allies, which I do not want. Yeah, there you go. Now, no eyes can spawn. The enemy is capped out on their deployment, so as soon as the Shroud dies, I need to get up here where they're going to come in and try and catch them. Elsewise, they will start killing my fleet, which is not good. The only reason I survived being snared at one is because I'm a capital-class high-tech ship. I have very good shield efficiency and pretty deep flexibles to survive it. Nothing else can, especially not these ships, because it will chew through armor like butter, among other things, and then it will disable the ship the entire time as well. So let's use our super fast Nova. Let's generate a charge. Let's reflect there. Now, we need to get up here. Now, the main distinction in strategies that you can do with other designs is the eye, flanked, is you can equip tachyon lances. I find those to be a lot more temperamental, though, in that they, are a strike weapon and are not always on. So it can be difficult to punish. You can just get caught on shields. It's okay, that damage doesn't matter. As long as we're not dead, we're fine. Let's get the shield loop, and there we go. And, okay, we are running it close. But as you can see, they have very long range, very scary. The other main benefit of the Tachyon Lance is its EMP effects, and so far as I can tell, these enemies are immune to EMP. Let's get out of range, turn off weapons so you can rotate faster, and we are doing fine. We are doing less fine because our engines are still off. These enemies have a specific EMP effect that makes it last quite a bit longer to prepare, which is particularly debilitating for its engines, for when it hits engines. I'm going to try and kill this guy while telling this to be avoided, so it doesn't flank me. And as you can see, that is what happens when the eye is left alone. It just shot and killed that guy, and there was nothing it could do because it didn't have movement systems to get away, and it didn't have the durability in any fashion to survive. Onslaughts will die very quickly. Shield shunt onslaughts, normally great, awful for these fights. You need the shield. And even then, even with the shield, they will kill it very easily, which is why this ship, the strategy I'm demonstrating, is what it is. And as you can see, the remainder of the enemy fleet has been largely dispatched. There's not much left, and it is even taking long enough to finish that some of the hammerheads are starting to run out of combat readiness. So, if you could get a Rift Cascade emitter, that would probably be even better than Tachyon Lance or High-Intensity Scale Laser, because it doesn't have part of its effectiveness devoted to useless, in this circumstance, EMP. But because of Omega drop chances and whatnot, that is not a confirmation that you'll be able to get even one, much less two. You could run monitors as another example. There's a energy weapon that does kinetic damage that the Shroud enemies drop that could be better than my kinetic blasters. The kinetic blasters you get, of course, by killing a Sentry and Dictat, relatively rare drop. You have to kill the specific Lion Guard variants, but they're one of the only effective sources only sources of kinetic damage on energy mounts, so they are quite good. As you can see, we had minimal losses, even if my ship barely survived. 3 ships is okay. Probably be better. But let's recover them all. Let's pick through the wreckage. A lot of great stuff. And that is how you do that. And we can even look at the combat results and see that my ship did more than a fourth of the damage. So it was left at 13% HP. And the high intensity laser was the majority of the damage. That's a lot of hull damage. And it killed all 3 of the eyes by itself. So I would recommend it. I think it is very fun. But it does require Nova and piloting and player skills. So it's not for everyone. But I think it's quite effective. As for this, you can see that these are grayed out, which means they are underperforming, and the Gauss Cannon and Hypervelocity Driver did great. Because they would. There's only shields and hull. Anyway, that's all. Bye.